NordVPN is the easy-to-use private browsing VPN service that offers unlimited bandwidth and support across all your devices. Check out the link in the video description to learn more. Today we have even more new stuff to set up for the new setup, so let's get straight into it. So hey guys, Alex here, and today we are actually upgrading my PC. So we've got a couple of things here which I'm going to go through in a minute. But right now this is my PC just down here and it's in a little bit of a bad state. So we've got essentially a lot of dust, a cracked window. I think that pretty much says it all. It's just kind of a bit dusty, a bit scratched up. I'm not actually upgrading many parts in this, I'm just adding some more RAM, but the main bits here are actually going to be the same. So the GPU's staying the same, the CPU's staying the same. But we have a new case, we have some new RGB stuff, and a lot of actually new stuff to go inside of here. So without any further ado, let's just begin by taking apart this PC and putting it all inside the new enclosure, which is the S340 Elite. I actually built a system in that enclosure back in about September time, but I sold that to buy my MacBook. I really love the case. Because we're going for an RGB build here with this Corsair Lighting Node Pro, I thought what better case to build it in than that. So let's begin taking this one apart. Did I also mention it doesn't have a rear left foot, so it rocks quite a lot. Okay, so I've now emptied out the old system. We're all pretty much ready to go and assemble the new system here. I'm going to run you down on what parts we have and what parts we're going to be using right after I just show you the amount of dust that is just floating around. That is just brilliant. I'm definitely going to have to hoover up all this dust straight after this, but yeah, let's run through the parts that we've got. Okay, so for the CPU in this build, I'm actually going to be using this, which is the, unfortunately you can't read it because there's a lot of thermal paste on there, but it is the i5-4460. I've been using this since 2016. It's actually a pretty powerful processor, especially considering how much I paid for it back in the day. But yeah, this is going to be the brains of this build until I upgrade it in the future to probably a 4790K. Pretty much, that'll explain what's in this box, because this is a little bit OP. Now, I'm not going to be using the stock cooler. We're going to get to the cooler a little bit later on, but just for now I'm going to store it on there because that's probably the safest place I can leave it. But next up is the RAM. So here I have 8GB of HyperX Fury. One is black and one is white. These two I've been using again since I actually assembled the system with this CPU. So that's 8 gigs there, and then I stole this from my brother's old PC system, which I built also back in 2016. So this is 8 gigs of DDR3 again. Unfortunately it doesn't have such a nice heatsink, but it is still 8 gigs of RAM, so it'll bring the total here to 16 gigabytes. But yeah, for now this is just what we're running with. Pulling all of these parts together is going to be the Z97 Mark II, which is the Sabertooth edition from Asus. So this is actually a really reliable board that has USB 3.1. Unfortunately there isn't a M.2 slot on this, so I can't put NVMe drives in there unless I use a PCI adapter. So yeah, you can see just here, it's actually a really nice board. It's got USB 3.1, which is the biggest attraction to it. We're also going to be spray painting some of the parts on this, which I'll explain again a little bit later, and we'll probably do in a separate video. Okay, so on the storage side, we've actually got quite a lot here. So we've got two of these A400 SSDs, which are 240 gigs each. I've been using these since last year when I was sent them by Kingston. They are still going strong, and the video has actually received a lot of popularity recently. They're actually really nice SSDs, and I would definitely recommend them to basically anyone who wants an SSD, but doesn't want to pay like 400 quid like the Samsung ones. So one of these is my boot drive, and the other is a temporary storage file drive, and they are super quick. The system in my old build could actually boot up in like 4 seconds and just be ready, so honestly they're going to be a great base for this system. And then apart from that, here we have three 1TB drives, two of which are from WD and one is from Samsung, and these are going to be the main storage for basically all my backups of drives, all my photo library backups. Essentially the system is just a backup system with a lot of files on it, but yeah, 3 TB, 480 You physically can't build a PC in 2018 without having an element of RGB, and there's actually going to be some more RGB added in the future, but for now I've started with this, which is the Corsair Lighting Node Pro, and these are just addressable LED strips with a controller so I can control them from the system. These are going to be added in last, and they're going to be the first thing you see probably when you turn the system on. I'm actually pretty excited to see how these look because there aren't many reviews online, so I'm probably going to go ahead and review these myself, because from what I've seen in images and in the limited amount of reviews that I've seen, these are actually pretty good. So we know that bringing the whole thing together is the SD40 Elite. That's a brilliant case. I'm not going to go over that because we've seen it before, but inside this box what we've got to cool it is a load of packing peanuts, and I love these things. No, seriously though, what we've got is the H80i V2 from Corsair. So this is actually a water cooler, a little bit overpowered for the kind of low power CPU that I'm using, but still it will serve the system well and it'll keep it nice and cool inside. So this is what I was talking about when I said I will probably be upgrading the CPU in the future, because the 4790K is overclockable, so with this I would be able to overclock that CPU, but for now I've got a locked CPU so I can't overclock that. I can just get really good temperatures using this. So that is one big CPU cooler, and we're going to see exactly how well it can perform, because I remember the idle temperatures with the stock cooler when I was using that, so we'll be able to compare that to what performance I get with this. But now we're going to go ahead and open up the case and actually start assembling everything. So I'm going to roll a cinematic of this instead of doing a walkthrough, because you know they're just everywhere right now. Let's get straight into it. So guys, this is the fully assembled, fully finished system, and just take a look inside of that. That honestly looks amazing. I didn't mention these before, but the RGB heat sinks that you see just there on the RAM, they're actually custom, that you can get on Amazon and you install them yourself. One of them doesn't work because the solder joint is broken, and one of the entire kits didn't even have any thermal pads, so that one went back, and since then this one is broken, so I need to fix that myself or return it. But apart from that little one problem, the rest of it actually looks awesome. I put a white fan here on the radiator just to, you know, make it reflect a little bit more light than the grey one that was included. But the lighting inside looks awesome. The Corsair Node Pro really does a good job of basically matching what the keyboard does at any set time, so it honestly looks really good. I'm very impressed with this system so far. I just need to upgrade that CPU. And also, I broke a stick of RAM, so I've only got 12 gigs in there now, instead of 16. But yeah, that is it from me for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. NordVPN offers an easy-to-use, intuitive VPN solution with over 4,000 servers in 62 countries to ensure that your browsing experience remains private without compromising on speed. Check out the link in the video description to learn more.